Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys? So, welcome back to the channel, and today we'll talk about a hot new topic, which is generative AI. And I'm sure pretty much that you must have heard it, or some of you might have already used it in some form or manner, right? ChatGPT, 100 million users and counting, right? So, it has been a year when it was launched, and it has been a massive success, which is actually telling the story that generative AI is here to stay and here to create a bank, right? And if you look at all the companies in the IT industry, right, starting from the MNCs like Capgemini, IBM, Accenture, or be it the Indian pure players like the TCS, Infosys, Wipro, all of them are looking at generative AI as the next growth engine, right? So all of them are investing in Gen AI capabilities, are investing in understanding and diving deep with their clients on Gen AI, on implementing the Gen AI use cases, and these doing POCs so that they can actually establish a good ground for bringing more clients onto Gen AI as they ramp up. So all of this is going to create a lot of buzz in the market, and it already has. If you see, there are deals where there is Gen AI proposed productivity or improvement in efficiency of the operations being proposed, and there are various mechanisms by which is it's done. And today we'll talk about a little bit of Gen AI, and in this video you can expect that I will touch upon the basis of Gen AI and how it is implemented, some of the use cases that are there in the market. So let's begin. I will not, spend a lot of time explaining you what's Gen AI, but very quickly, Gen AI is basically a form of AI which can actually generate new and unique content. And the thing that it has the ability to generate new content is what sets it apart from a traditional AI. And the content that it generates could be in the form of text, or it could be form of the image, it could be form of audio or speech, it could be actually videos that you can generate through Gen AI. And there are different models to generate all of these different modalities, basically text, image, and video. And a lot of Gen AI models also have the capability of generating uh, 3D models, right? Or 3D images, which is AutoCAD stuff. So you have a lot of exciting stuff with Gen AI, basically introduced as something that can generate content, right? As against process data or do decision making. It does all of that, but it can also generate new content. That is what sets it apart. Now, I'll quickly touch upon foundation model, and foundation model. Knowing foundation model is important because foundation model forms uh, you know, the engine of generative AI, and this is the layer in generative AI which actually sets it apart. Now, what exactly is a foundation model? Foundation model is basically a model which has been trained and using data, and it is a self learner. It is learning as it actually generates the output. And what it has been trained on is generic data, and it could be sources of data could be web pages, books, or when you talk about large language models, it could be even your scientific papers, which are codes. There are codes available in the data library, and all of that is helping it generate and learn new content, right? So it is a form of model which can actually adapt to the user's requirement basis what it has been trained on, right? And this training has been done on data which it has actually seen and looked at from different sources. So that's a foundation model, and building a foundation model obviously requires a lot of effort, time, and resources. So the foundation models are out there. They're already built by large organizations, which we already know: OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, Cohere. So there are numerous organizations which have built their foundation models, and these foundation models can be implemented, by different, clients, or they can be actually fine tuned, in specific industries or specific requirements. Now there are certain industries which are, more regulatory, more under the regulatory lens, and data sensitive, have data sensitive requirements. So for those specific industries, you might need to actually build a new foundation model, but of course, it comes at a cost, and it also requires a lot of time and effort. So in the market right now, generative AI is a hot topic, and especially these foundation models, depending upon what is the use case, what exactly is the purpose you want to solve. The different foundation models are available, and you need to select the right foundation model. Then you need to actually work to fine tune that model, boost, and actually build it. Build, boost, and actually train, further enhance, fine tune. So that's the model that every organization is typically looking at, building and boosting and fine tuning, and then using it for their specific requirement. So imagine you're sitting in an HR office, and you are a HR administrator or whatever role that you are in HR. You're a recruitment specialist, you are perhaps a payroll specialist, or perhaps an administrative executive. You want answers to your queries of your employees, uh, self-help. You want to enable self-help to your employees. So it's a great way to do it, because generative AI can actually answer queries on the fly. It can do conversations like a real person with the employees, actually giving them an avenue to get their questions answered, to get their concerns addressed. So all of this actually leaves a lot of room and a lot of potential for the actual employee to focus more on strategic activities or strategic tasks. So, right, that's a simple use case. There are other numerous use cases. For example, oil and gas. In oil and gas, you can actually have the product catalogs available to the person who is making decisions very quickly. Just with a simple question on the chat, it can actually give you the product catalog. It can actually make predictions on what is going to happen basis the data that it has actually got, in terms of weather, in terms of what are the volume fluctuations, basis the transport that we have in oil and gas. So all of those things are certain specific use cases which can be developed when the model is fine tuned, right? And of course, we have actually seen and experienced the chat GPT, which is a generic model, and conversational AI, an example of a conversational AI. And it is actually brilliant, right? So I use it every day. I really urge people to use it as well. Those of you who have not, just go and check it out. It is brilliant, uh, brilliant way to actually make your day-to-day life more efficient, right? So, and it is here to stay. So with that, I'll just probably come to an end. So as you saw, generative AI, it's basically a form of AI which actually builds or can create new data. And then, what are the different foundation models? We talked about modalities of the output, which is your text, videos, images, audio, and so on. And then we also looked at, what are some of the implications of building a foundation model by our own, vis-a-vis actually fine-tuning a foundation model, which is the way to go, which is the recommended way to go. Now, there are a lot of regulatory concerns, safety concerns around Gen AI, which I urge you to check out, because every country is actually starting to realize that it is very important to have regulatory norms around Gen AI, and this is the time to actually develop those regulatory norms, so that the people who are working on developing models, or the people who are actually implementing those models for the use cases, do it in a responsible manner, do it in a manner where the society, or it doesn't pose a risk to our day-to-day lives. So you know with that, I will leave it for today, and please put your questions on the chat so that I can address them and I can answer those questions. It would be great to interact with you. And specifically, it's a big vast topic, and which cannot be covered, of course, in a small video like this. But if you have any specific questions that you want to you want them addressed, please put them on the chat, and I'll be happy to take them. With that, happy technology to you guys, and keep yourself curious, keep yourself on the learning path, and all the best.